6.3, Part 2, Case 4. Here is a side, side, side. And so all three sides are known. So it tells us here in example 1 to solve the triangle ABC with side A is equal to 3.1, side B is equal to 5.4, and side C is equal to 7.2. Round your answers to the nearest tenth. Alright, so we're solving the triangle, so I'm going to go ahead and set up my little answer box. And let's see, I'm going to fill in what I know. And I know that once this is filled in completely, we are done. Now, how do you know what you're going to use? You've got to look at the information that's given to you, okay, guys? So, if you know an angle and the side opposite of it, you can always use the law of sines. But if you don't, you're going to have to use the law of cosines. So here, notice, we don't know an angle and the side opposite. We don't know any angles. So we're going to have to start with the law of cosines, and then once we get an angle, we can switch to the law of sines if we want to. So, which angle do we want to find? Well, remember, I told you just in the previous example that it's recommended to find the angle that may be obtuse by using the law of cosines. Well, if I had to pick an angle here that would be obtuse, which one would it be? If one of these angles is obtuse, it has to be the one across from the largest side, which means it would have to be angle C. So let's go find angle C first. Alright, so to find angle C, we're going to use the formula that C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine of angle C. And so let's fill in what we know. Remember in the video, guys, if I'm going too fast, pause it so you can write it down and then check it, okay? Alright, so I've plugged these in, and now I'm going to go through and I'm just going to square everything. So 7.2 squared is 51.84 equals 3.1 squared. I get 9.61. 5.4 squared, I got 29.16. I got minus, I'm going to go ahead and multiply those three numbers together. And I got 33.48 cosine of C. Then remember, we can add these together. We can't subtract this because this is connected with that cosine of C, okay? So we've got 51.84 equals, when I added those two together, I get 38.77 minus the 33.48 cosine of angle C. I'm going to subtract this over. And so I get 13.07 equals negative 33.48 cosine of angle C. I have to divide by that negative 33.48. And so I have that cosine of angle C equals that fraction there. Now, if you wanted to put it in your calculator and clean it up a little bit, you can, but I would take it out several decimal places, okay? So I'm just going to leave it exact for right now. And then remember, when you're after an angle, you're going to have to take the inverse. And so to find angle C, we're going to take the inverse cosine of 13.07 over negative 33, 0.48. And so we get that angle C is approximately 113 degrees. So I'm going to plug that in up here. Now that we know an angle and the side across from it, is it okay Now, also that 113 degrees real quick was, I think it was like 113.0, okay? So I did round to the nearest tenth. All right, so I'm sorry, back to what I was saying then. Now we know an angle and the side across from it. So if we want to switch to the law of sines, we can. And that's what I'm going to do. So to find, doesn't matter if we find A or B. Let's find A this time. So, whoops. So I know using the law of sines, sine of A over side A will equal sine of C over side C. So sine of A over 3.1 is equal to sine of 113 degrees over 7.2. And so we're going to cross multiply and divide. So 7.2 times sine A equals 3.1 sine of 113. Divide by the 7.2. I am almost out of room here. And so sine of angle A is equal to this fraction. But then remember, to do an angle, we're going to do the inverse. So angle A is going to be equal to the inverse sine. That was not a good location to do that. So you know what? I hate to do this, but I'm just going to draw a line and I'm going to bring it up here. So we know that angle A is equal to the inverse sine of, what did I have there? 3.1 sine of 113 degrees all over 7.2. And so we're going to plug that in our calculators, and we're going to get, all right, so we get 23.3488, so 23.34, so it's going to stay a 3. So 23.3 degrees. And then how are we going to find angle B? Well, we're going to use the fact that we know all three angles are going to add to be 180. Sorry, I was thinking, where am I going to put this? I'm going to do it here. So we know we're going to have 180 minus the 23.3 plus the 113. And so we plug that in and we get angle B equals 43.7 degrees. I am so sorry this is so messy, guys. So 43.7 degrees. And we've got all of our information there, so our triangle is complete.